This video is about field access settings. We already talked about this in one of the first videos. I'll be very brief here, I'll say it again. There are two different settings to change when you add a row, and to change a field that is already added. All of these access settings are in the field settings. We can specify that a field will only be available to certain roles on adding. That is, if we select some specific roles here, only those roles will be able to modify that field in the Add Row or Add panel. It's the same thing with changes. If we select specific roles, only those roles will modify the field when it is already added. We can also specify that it will only be visible to specific roles. And this visibility setting overrides those two. Because if a field, for example, is editable for role 1, but invisible to role 1, then a user with role 1 will not be able to access that field in any way unless he has a role with visibility and change access to that field enabled. So if you need to make the field visible only to the creator, disabled for all other users, you don't need to enable those. We only enable visibility for the role. Of the settings, which is necessary to mention, there is a setting with logging. That is, if there is a checkbox with logging, then there will be a record of all changes in this field, as well as information about what value was when added, who did it. If we want only a limited number of roles to have access to this log, we enable log is available for roles and select the roles that will have access to the log. If there is a restriction on access to the log button here in the context pane will not be available to those users who don't have that access. There's a setting like hidden by default. We go here, we set hidden by default here. It's not a hard setting. It says that in the default view this field will be hidden for all users. There's no role separation there. Because a user coming in here can check a checkbox, say apply, and that field will be shown to him in the interface. So this is a setting for hiding minor fields that are very occasionally needed, but mostly unnecessary. When a field is hidden with the hidden by default option, the eye is not highlighted in yellow. If we hide the field without this parameter, the eye will be highlighted, and when we refresh page it will still blink, showing user that he does not have all fields visible. Right-clicking returns the view to the default view. The default hidden fields do not give this identification. Okay, I put it back, update, and the field is here. That's it. There's not much to practice about field access either. You listen and go next.